like to demonstrate something first that is not magic. It in fact utilizes the energy within us, the magic within our own bodies. A small device that measures electrical flow. I'm going to step amongst us here tonight. I'm going to ask, if I may, I'm going to ask you please with your right hand, yes, to reach across, and I'm just going to have you touch the little silver button there. And I'm going to ask you to keep your finger there, if you will. Yes. And I'm going to ask, please, Jeff, if you'll reach across and touch as well. And I'm going to ask you, please, the real Harry Monty, Harry, if you'll take your right hand and touch Jeff's left hand. Yes, and I'll have you reach across, please, and I'll have you two grab hands. And then I'm going to ask you, if you will, just to touch onto the neck or ear. Perfect. You'll hear the sound from the electrical current flowing. Now, if you two release hands, it stops. If you join hands again, and yet if you release the ear, it stops. And this records the actual, gentlemen, thank you. This records the actual energy, truly, not magic, reality that exists within all of us. What makes us all unique, what makes us alive, what makes us human beings, is the energy that is breathed into us. That is what we're going to use tonight. That is what we will all bring out within ourselves tonight. I'm going to ask first if someone amongst us here tonight has a dollar bill. You will get it back, and you will get it back intact. Anyone here tonight with a dollar bill? Thank you. Ellen, this is fine. Have we ever met before? However, well, we have. Was this prearranged? No, this was not. Thank you, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to ask you, if you will, just remove any dollar bill from your wallet.
Any denomination?
Well, a dollar. Any dollar bill. Yes, any. Yes. And then I'm going to ask you, Alan, if you will. I'm going to ask you, please, I don't want to see it. I'm going to ask you to take your dollar bill and place it inside that envelope. Just place it in flat into the envelope. Remove the label sticker, whatever it is, and then seal it, if you will. And then I'll have you do the same again, placing that envelope into this envelope, if you will. Thank you. And then I'm going to have you place it into this envelope. Perfect. And then we will seal that. And then I will take this, if I may, I'm going to hand it across and ask you please to hold on to that, if you will, and just keep it under your watchful care throughout the rest of this demonstration. Is there anyone here tonight who plays bingo, enjoys bingo, gets to an occasional bingo game or bingo parlor? Please, it does not mean it's the product of the misspent youth. If not, that's okay. I have, thank you. Thank you. Here you go, Harry. Thank you. Mike, you may stay there, it's okay, but I do want to thank Mike Niehaus for allowing me to borrow his table tonight. Mike, thank you. I will return it at the end of the evening. I also want to thank Terry Richardson for allowing me to borrow his table as well. I have 6 bingo cards. The bingo cards have various numbers on them, ranging from approximately 2 or 1 to 47. And I'm going to ask, please, Mike, you may stay there, but I'm going to ask you, please, to silently think of any number from 1 to 47. Do not tell me what it is. I just want you to think of your number. Do you have your number?
Yes.
Very good, because now I'm going to come down, I'm going to ask you, do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
What is, you don't see it? There's cake. Do you see your number anywhere on that?
No.
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No. Yes.
Going to have her glasses checked.
Yay. Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
You're very certain of the number.
Wait a minute, that isn't like a real bingo card.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
All right, then I'm right.
Okay. You want to check again?
You would better,
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
Yes.
Oh,
Come on, Harry.
Or anywhere on that card?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
Yes.
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Do you see your number anywhere on that card?
No.
And do you see your number anywhere on that card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, okay. I want you to know if I'm able to read Mike's mind, this will be a real miracle. Okay, hold on to that number, if you will. We'll come back to that. The tool of the magician, a deck of cards. For this effect, I will use a deck of cards, and I will remove the joker. Give a little shuffle. And I'm going to ask if I may. I ask you just to say stop at any time. Stop. Very good. I'm going to have you please remove the card at which you stop. I don't want to see it. Just place it against your chest. I'll take the rest of the deck. I'm going to take the deck and hand it out into the audience. I'm going to ask those of you to whom I direct to just lift up in front of the card, memorize one card, drop the cards back down, and then we'll hand the deck to someone else as well. Can I please hand you the deck? Would you please just lift up, look at one card, memorize it, please remember it, that helps. None of you release it back down. Then I'd like you to hand the deck to someone else if you would like to see do this as well. Very good. I'm going to ask you please to do the same. Just lift up, memorize a card, drop it down, and then hand it to someone else. Very good. And we'll do one more. Perfect. And I'm going to ask you all please to remember your cards. And then I'm going to ask you to send the deck back. And I'm going to ask the four of you, please, to stand up. My first levitation act of the evening. Thank you. Thank you. 4 cards, selected at random. Now I'm going to ask you all, please, not to do anything until I direct you to. But I am going to ask you all, please, to concentrate on your cards, because I'm going to name 4 cards. Don't do anything. Getting a picture of a Queen of Hearts. I see a 3 of clubs. I see a 5 of diamonds, and I see an 8 of spades. If I called off your card, would you please resume your seat? I want you to sit back down. One card was not named. You're holding that card. Yes? I have not seen that card, nor has anyone else in the room. And what I am going to explain now, in the real world, the most common contract ever entered into is the insurance contract. The least often read document in the United States is the insurance contract. I brought with me tonight my insurance policy as a magician. And it is important to read the terms of your policy. In this policy, the #1 condition is all parties involved must be playing with a full deck. Yes, for me as well. Hopefully, it is my insurance policy that helps us find the card that you selected at random. Would you please look at the card and show it to all present? How did I do? Thank you. Thank you. Borrow that. It has often been said, never judge a book by its cover. I actually buy books based on their covers. I have the distinct privilege, pleasure, and honor of teaching medical jurisprudence and medical ethics. And so I use this book, The Dream of the Accused, when I teach medical jurisprudence and medical ethics to talk about key issues of the law. Fatal sins reminds me the single greatest fatal sin to a boy as a clinician and a physician is failure to obtain informed consent. Daniel Steele's nephew, David Steele, has written this book. I brought it with me tonight. I brought a dictionary, Del Shannon's Mysteries, my hero Charlie Bronson, who starred in all those Death Wish movies, so many that the last one, I believe, was Death Wish meets Rocky Beneath the Planet of the Apes. And the ultimate flashback. And I'm going to ask if there are those of you here tonight who feel comfortable enough with your vision that I may ask you to assist me in this performance. Now, what I will do, I don't want you all to think, okay, it's just look in front of the room. Andrea.
Good, Harry. Good, Harry.
No, it's you guys. I'll come back. Not to worry, because
You've already been
I
there.
thought I'd come here to this table. May I hand you that? Are you comfortable with your vision?
She's had too much to drink.
It's even better.
Double vision.
It's better that way. I'm going to ask you if you'll please tell us how many pages are in that book. You need not be psychic. You may turn to the last page.
280.
280. I'm going to ask you all to allow me the poetic license to say 300 pages. It makes the math easier. The standard galley proof of a hardback book published in the United States, there are 200 to 400 words per page. 300 pages, 400 words, approximately 120,000 words. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask if you will, please, in a moment, to turn to any page in the book you would like. Now, once you do, if you like that page, you may keep the page. While some may say you may change your mind, I'm going to ask you to keep the mind you have. However, if you want to change the page, you can. Please feel free to open the book to anywhere you would like. And then, are you satisfied with that page, or would you like to change it? I want you to find a page with which you feel a sense of ease. And once you find that page, I'm going to ask you in a moment, I'm going to have you silently scan down that page for a word, not yet. Because what I'm going to ask you to do tonight is to find the biggest word, the longest word, the most letters, the most syllables, because that will make this the most impressive. And as you're doing so, you may even find yourself conflicted. And if you do, if you're wrestling between two long, multi-syllabic words, you may select two silently. I don't want to know what they are. Once you've found your word or words, I just want you to let me know that you've done so, because then I'm going to ask you, if you will, not to verbalize. I do read words and lips. I'm going to ask you, please, just to point the word or words out to friends next to you, so they may see your selections. Please do not verbalize. I do read lips. I remember that no new taxes fiasco from several years back. I'll take the book back, if I may. Please remember your word. I'm now going to ask others amongst you. Here we go. If I may, I'm going to ask you please to select any book you would like. Please hold on to the dictionary, if you will, and I'm going to ask, if I may, I'm going to ask you please to say stop at any time. Very good. I'm going to have you please look at the first word at the top of that page, and I want you to memorize that word. Don't tell me what it is. You okay? And now I'm going to ask you to look at the two page numbers that were selected at random, because I'm going to step away and I'm going to ask you please to look at those two pages, those page numbers in your dictionary. Three more books. Are there others amongst you who would like to participate or come around? Yes. May I, would you like a book?
I guess so.
Please, any book. We have a special today. Okay, Death Wish. Please hold on to the book if you will. I see someone else who's being volunteered. May I hand you a book? How's that? Hold on to the book, please. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow your book from you, if I may. Death Wish. And I'm going to ask you just to say stop at any time as we ripple through. Are you satisfied with this page? Because I may have you memorized the first word at the top of that page. Got it? Very good. And now, please remember your words. You have a book. Yes. And I'm going to ask if you can tell us how many pages are in your book. 199. So if I may, I'm going to ask, from 1 to 199, what page would you like?
30.
30. I'm going to ask you please to turn to page 30 in your book. And once you've turned to page 30, I'm going to ask you please to look at the first line at the top of page 30. And I'm going to ask you to silently select the biggest word, the longest word, the most letters, the most syllables, silently, that word, whatever it is, and then please close the book and I'll take it back. And we have a lot of words floating around. Thank you. And out of 120,000 words, did you select one or two?
One.
One. Now I don't want you to tell us what your word is. I am going to ask, however, if you will share with us the first letter of your word.
L.
That's correct. Out of 120,000 words, the mind goes to a word that has meaning. The unconscious mind selects that which is most powerful. And you selected a word out of 120,000 words, the letter L. The letter L very meaningfully highlights tonight the second letter is an O, and a U,
Yes.
and a D,
Yes.
and an S, and a P, because I was having trouble with the sound system, and you selected the word, if I'm right, please get excited, loudspeaker, is that correct? You selected a word at random. The word that you selected at random reminds us how the mind filters. It accepts that which we want. And then what it also does is D-I-S-R-E-G-A-R-D, it disregards that which we don't. Is that correct? Wow. And you selected a word that reminds us that Jeremy and Rachel came here from Jacksonville to perform tonight. I came down from Springfield, Illinois. Collectively, we came from Y-O-N-D-E-R, yonder. Is that correct? Two pages were selected at random. You turned to 2 pages at random in the dictionary. Is that right? Mm-hmm. 2 pages. There should be 2 columns of defined words on each page.
Yes,
So there should be 4 columns.
yes.
Before we get to those 4 columns, you selected a word at random also. You actually selected a page. Where a page was selected, you turned to that page, yes, and selected the word. Am I right? You gave us a page number at random out of 199 pages. You selected a word from that page. And that page reminds us, that word that you selected out of 199 pages, of 80,000. Please concentrate. I once had a job in an orange juice factory in Boston because I couldn't concentrate. As you concentrate, I am seeing that what we have to do from time to time in life is we have to modify. We have to ACCOMMODATION, accommodation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. And you turn to those 2 pages in the dictionary, 4 columns, and I'm going to ask, would you like column 1, 2, 3, or 4? 3. I'm going to ask you please to look at column 3, and I'm going to ask you to silently spell over and over in your mind the first bold print word at the top of that column. And as you do, it reminds you that so much of what we do in life is about preconception. It's about labels. It's about how we perceive. And the word that you are focusing on reminds me that we do this. We create in life. E-A-R-M-A-R-K.
That's
Is that
it.
correct? All right. Thank you. An envelope. A pair of scissors. I have an acute grasp of the obvious. When we're done, I would like you please to return the dollar to Alan, if you will. That's your dollar. It is. Okay. Very good. I will pick that up. Would you please remove the envelope, because there's nothing else inside. And I'm going to ask you, if you will, to open that envelope. Yes. And I'm going to ask you to take out what's inside. Yes, another envelope, which Alan sealed. And then I'll ask you please to open that envelope, and inside will be Alan's dollar bill. And I'm going to ask you please, I do not want to see that dollar bill. However, when you take that dollar bill out, I would like those at your table to gather around you so that they can see this and verify what we are going to do. As you all look at that dollar bill, what makes a dollar bill unique is it has a fingerprint, just as we do, that is unique to each and every dollar bill. What is that unique fingerprint? It is a serial number. The serial number begins with a letter. The serial number ends with a letter. And I want you please to concentrate on that, because I'm getting the impression of a B.
Yes.
Getting the impression of an 8.
Yes.
A 4.
Yes.
A 9.
Yes.
A 3.
Yes.
A 5.
Yes.
A 3.
Yes.
A 9.
Yes.
An 8.
Yes.
And a D.
Yes.
And that, Alan, is your dollar bill. Thank you
Yo!
all very much. I want you all to continue to have a great evening. Drive safely on your way home, and I turn it back over to our host tonight, Terry Richardson.
Another big round of applause.